Yep, yep, cannabis buzzed. Top fans. Let's push some buttons, see what they do. Don't wanna play a game, no I don't. Settings. Hi Frog Walk. How's it going? I've got a little bit of a story to tell, but I'm just going to wait till a few more people come in, if possible. Well, if they do, if they choose not to, it's on them. But some little scary information. If you're a consumer of cannabis, the green product, smoking, eating, vaping, doesn't make no difference. The outcome is the same. The science is there. It's all, I can back up everything I'm about to say. I've got paperwork, I've got proof, I've got documents, and it's the latest information that's being suppressed, because if you actually knew the risks, you would probably think twice. Well, regardless of anyone's gonna appear here, want to listen to what I've got to say, I know sometimes the truth hurts, and a lot of people that I'm surrounded by, a lot of people that follow me, only interested in cannabis related topics. Well, this is one for all of you guys. Yeah. On the 24th of June 2026, I was rushed into hospital suffering from a STEMI. This is a ST elevated myocardial infarction. Excuse my pronunciations. But what it was is a heart attack, commonly known as a widow maker. I am very lucky to be alive and be able to talk to you and tell you what happened to me and what's still happening to me. My 40 years of smoking cannabis, I was smoking cannabis since I was about 9 years old, but I've had over 40 years at it. I'm 53 years old, and it caught up with me. Like I said, on the 24th of June, I woke up in the morning and lit up a joint and got a pain in my chest. It wasn't the first time I've experienced pain in my chest on the commencing of smoking. I ignored this pain because my doctor told me it was inflammation. Just on I assumed, okay, that sounds fine to me, inflammation, not a problem, I'll smoke some more cannabis. But that was wrong. I was actually having a heart attack the first time I went to the doctors, and they missed it. But on the 24th of June, it was too late for any doctors. It was too late for me. I lit that joint and continued because of what? My cannabis biased. Yeah. No one could tell me that cannabis was doing me any harm at that point in time. And I soon realised when I was on the floor, crying, dribbling, being sick, sweating, and by the time the ambulance got here, which took about 4 minutes, they said they put the wires on me and everything, and they said, Steve, you're having a heart attack. They rushed me straight into hospital. I had an angiogram. They thread a catheter up my wrist into my heart, expecting to find cholesterol blockage, because that's what the ECG was saying, but there was no cholesterol blockage. I had very mild plaquing, but what was actually happening was my heart was getting incorrect signals, electrical signals, because of I'd overloaded my CB1 receptors, which are all around your heart and on the muscles that surround your heart. And because I'd been suffering from severe lack of sleep, just that alone can raise your parasympathetic nervous system to cause certain chemicals to do stuff to your heart and make you hypersensitive. And what I'd done was I continued smoking cannabis and actually overloaded the CB1 receptors around my heart and the muscles around my heart with THC. And because of the lack of sleep, I wasn't getting no break from the cannabis. So essentially, I was smoking 24/7 some days, and some days I wasn't even getting any sleep. So no chance for my body to have a break, a tolerance break whatsoever. And the two combined with high potency THC, a heavy consumption of 2 ounces a week, lack of sleep, caused me to have a coronary artery spasm, which is where my arteries, the muscles around my arteries just clamped and my arteries went flat, and the result was my heart was dying by the second. And I'm lucky to still be here and my heart is still functioning as it is today, and I expect I can make a full recovery, but it's changed my life dramatically, to the point of I ceased smoking cannabis on the 24th of June 2026, and the idea of it now is repulsive to me, and I never thought I'd be that person where I'd be anti-cannabis. I'm not anti-cannabis. I just want to let people know what information I've found out since my heart attack. And the information I found out is cannabis just does not work well for our hearts, period. Within 20 seconds of consuming cannabis, whether you're healthy, whether you're a 20-year-old, with no physical ailments or anything like that, or whether you're 50, within 20 seconds of consuming it, you've got a 5-fold increase of having a heart attack. Then if you go and complicate the issues with lack of sleep and things like that, and there are case studies now since cannabis legalization and the proliferation of cannabis across the world, these cases like mine, which used to be rare and used to be associated with cocaine abuse. I don't abuse cocaine, I don't use cocaine, but cannabis can act the same way and cause you to have a coronary artery spasm. They call it a STEMI, ST elevated myocardial infraction. And trust me, you don't want to go there, you don't want to have one. I'm very lucky that I had an ambulance within 4 minutes. My heart was literally dying. When your heart starves and doesn't get the oxygen, it starts dying instantly and starts releasing stuff into your bloodstream. Cannabis by itself raises your blood pressure, it increases your pulse rate, and it restricts your arteries. So if you've got any heart problems within your family, within your genetics, I'd stay clear of it. It's one of those things that is it's just gonna make your shit worse. And if you have got any heart conditions, I'm sure they're gonna start expressing sooner or later. It took a long while for me and a lot of shit, but nevertheless I ended up having a heart attack, 53-year-old. It's not cool, and I just want to I feel obligated now to tell my story and let everybody know exactly what cannabis is actually doing, because no one is going to tell you unless you go look for yourself. And I encourage everybody, after they've watched this video, to go and look for themselves. Don't believe what I'm saying. Don't believe what the person selling you your cannabis is saying. Don't believe anything anyone is saying. Go look for yourself. You don't have to be blind and suffer from this cannabis confirmation bias, because I suffered from it too. cannabis confirmation bias is a big issue, and I'm very worried about it. I'm now in the process of telling everybody I love dearly and care about my experience, and people that are actually interested in their genuine health, and this is why a lot of people are taking cannabis in the first place, is because they believe it's helping with their conditions. It's not. It's covering it up. It's hiding it. It's the root cause of your condition isn't being cured by cannabis. Cannabis will be hiding your cause of your symptoms and your problems, which you think you are suffering from. Yeah, you might be suffering from. I'm not denying that people have got problems. I had problems as well. I was self-medicating with cannabis. I've been let down by the medical system, the same as most of us have, and we're left to our own devices, and we end up finding something that works for us, but we think they're working. Yeah, but there's an underlying truth. The cannabis industry won't tell you about it. Big Pharma will never regulate it. Yeah, it won't go into Big Pharma's hands, because they would never be able to pass a drug, yeah, that guarantees a 5-fold increase of having a heart attack within 20 minutes of consumption. It would just not sell, and it would not pass, and it would not get through regulations. So this whole system around cannabis is corrupt, in my opinion. You're not getting proper informed consent, because I'm pretty sure once you read and find out for yourself, you will consider your consumption and possibly change your life, just like I did. It's just a shame it took a heart attack for me to do so. And I'm very grateful, and I'm very lucky to be here. Just as I spent a few days in the hospital, they've discharged me. I've got to be on dual antiplatelet medication, because they're really concerned of blood clots, and I took that on board, and there's I've got special medication to stop spasms from happening in my arteries again, but I've eliminated the initial trigger, which was cannabis and lack of sleep. So I feel like I'm on the path to recovery. I haven't smoked since then. I'm 12 days without smoking, and I feel better. I honestly do feel better. I'm not fit, because obviously I've just had a heart attack. Some of my heart muscle has died, and it's going to take me a long time to recover and to get back to where I was. But because I've now quit smoking, I've quit doing the damage to my heart, I've given my heart a break now from the toxic load and the signaling pathways that interfere with our normal operation of our bodily functions. These have all sort of ceased into the background, and I was scared. On the 24th of June, I nearly lost my life, and ever since then, I'm still at risk of dying. I've been back to hospital 3 times. I've had an ambulance back 3 times. My blood pressure's been dropping. I was having trouble with blood clotting. I'm on these antiplatelet medication. Yesterday, I was back in the, not yesterday, the day before, I was back in the hospital again. I had to have all pegs put on my nose. I've got special cream to put up my nose to prevent it from bleeding. I keep bringing out these big blood clots, and this is a major concern now, because when you look into the data and the science, and I encourage everybody to look on the American Heart Association, the European Cardiac Association, PubMed, all you've got to Google is the effect of cannabis on your heart, and that's all the information you will find is there. Put 2026, the most current, recent, up-to-date information, because there is a lot of statistics, a lot of peer-reviewed studies, that all confirm my diagnosis of a cannabis-induced heart attack. It's a very scary thing, and I feel duty-bound and obligated to just tell people and let them know the risks you're actually taking whilst consuming. it's not good for anybody. Since then, since stopping the cannabis, my life has changed dramatically. I can't exercise at the moment. I'm struggling to, to keep myself upright some days because of the medication I'm on that's actually saving my life. I'm lucky to be alive because a lot of people that have had a cannabis-induced heart attack, STEMI, ST elevated myocardial infarction, don't survive because their hearts die before they get treated. I was only 4 minutes away when the ambulance got here, straight in, no waiting or anything. I was straight into surgery and they were going to put a stent in my heart. But when they got in there, they were bemused, because even though where I live is quite advanced with information and stuff like that, they're still not fully aware of the data that supports my case, and I've actually had to educate some of my specialist cardiologist people and give them information, and they're now working with me because before they were treating they were getting, there's a standard protocol where they treat you with statins, and they blame it on cholesterol and things like that. That's what normally causes your heart blockage, but when they actually got inside my heart, they were like, oh, this isn't a cholesterol blockage and your arteries are clamping, and they couldn't, they were confirmed that whilst they were inside my heart, they were asking me questions, do you do cocaine? I'm like, no. So this is a common effect. If you hear someone has died from an overdose of cocaine and they've had a heart attack, exactly what I had, but it wasn't cocaine, it was cannabis. No one's going to tell you this information, especially if they're making money from this industry. A lot of people, there's a lot of money involved in cannabis and the sale of it. The sale of the associated products, the equipment to smoke it, consume it, to grow it. There's a lot of money, and this is why Big Pharma, there's a lot of money, but Big Pharma won't get into it because they know, they've seen the research, and they know they could never get a drug passed that that has the associated symptoms that cannabis does with your heart. It wouldn't happen. They could never. If a doctor was to tell you, for instance, here's a pill, for your for whatever problems you've gone with to your doctor, whether you can't sleep, whether you've got irritable bowels, whether you've got backaches, aches and pains, migraines, whatever it is you're consuming your cannabis for, and the doctor said, here's a pill, but you've got a five-fold increase of having a heart attack, or a coronary event within 20 minutes of consumption. You just wouldn't take it, but this is this is the hard truth and fact of the matter. These facts can't be disputed. There's scientific evidence to back it up. Right, now with all that being said, I want to just explain what's happened to me since my heart attack and what's happened to my brain, my emotions, and everything else. The reason why I'm sitting here today feeling a lot happier than I was yesterday. Yesterday I woke up in the morning scared that I was dying. I had blood clots coming from from my mouth. I'm coughing up blood clots, not just little blood clots, big, sticky, rubbery things that you would never want to see coming out of your body. And this is going on inside my body, and I'm so scared that this is going to end up in my brain. I'll have a stroke. In my lungs, I'll have a pulmonary embolism. In my legs, I'm going to get a DVT. So every day I was in fear, and I'm waking up in pains everywhere, all around my body. Not last night, the night before, I woke up from my sleep and it felt someone had squeezed a blocked bottle of tomato sauce, bottle of sauce, the squeezy ones, when you squeeze them and they don't come out at first, but all of a sudden they go. That, I felt that in my neck. Yeah, something squelched and released in my neck, and up the hospital yesterday with these blood clots coming out. They're pretty sure it was just a blood clot in my neck, just gone through somewhere in my body, floating around. I'm having to take these blood thinners, antiplatelets, all sorts of stuff. All this medication. A lot of them I got. That's just one handful. That's another handful. GTN spray. This is keeping me alive. And I'm like I said, I'm lucky. I'm a lucky one. You might not be. And I'm going to warn you, or tell you all now, some of the symptoms that you should be looking out for. Yeah, because I went through the symptoms for 2 weeks before my heart attack. I probably had about 5 heart attacks before the big one, but it wasn't caught because I didn't have a normal blockage. My arteries were just spasming. So by the time I got to hospital, they put an ECG on me. Obviously I managed to get to the hospital, so obviously my heart had done spasm, or my arteries had done spasms, but I was left with some sort of like pain in my chest and my back, and they just said it was something called costochondritis, which is sort of like inflammation of your sternum or your ribs, where they attach to your sternum, where they attach to the back. I put two, I accepted this as a reason to why I was receiving the pain. I got discharged from the hospital them days, and I went home and continued to consume the cannabis. But the morning it actually happened, the big one is I woke up in the morning, made my cup of coffee like I normally do, rolled my spliff, smoked that one, got a bit of pain in my chest, didn't really think nothing about it. You know what I mean? It's just a part and parcel of smoking, I assumed. Bit of inflammation. And so I pushed through it and rolled another joint. And as soon as I lit that one up, I got this intense pain in my chest. Next thing I know, I'm fucking rolling on the floor, calling for help from my wife. I'm on the phone to 999 saying, please help me. I'm fucking dying. And I've never been so scared in my life. And I was scared up until yesterday. Yesterday was a changing point in my life. I've been cannabis free, smoke free. I don't consume it at all. I don't want to even eat it. I don't even want to look at it anymore. And yesterday, someone come and collected me from my dream. Like I said, I woke up in the morning scared that I was going to die. I've been living out like that every day since the 24th of June. But yesterday, someone come and got me in my dream. I recognised this person, but I knew this person, but I didn't recognise them. I don't know their face was, but they knew me, I knew them, and we had a conversation. And I can remember this whole dream, vision, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I thought maybe it's my body's way of preparing me to die and making me feel easy about dying, because I'm still not out of the woods and I still might die. But after yesterday, this person come and took me somewhere, and I'm not scared to die anymore. Let's just put it like that. The dream is, or vision, is I was took to a place where nothing mattered, nothing, and it was like I had to leave all my thoughts and my cares, my worries behind, and took a leap of faith with what I was being shown. And it might sound strange to people, because if you're a cannabis user, you're probably the same as me. You don't dream. You don't dream. So after my consumption, I don't know whether this is just a weird dream, a spiritual experience, but I'm taking it spiritual because my my fear of death disappeared last night, and I'm looking forward to going to sleep again tonight. And I'm hoping that I have the same sort of experience last night, because I feel like I wasn't, I didn't get the full story, yeah, because my fear kicked in at some point and I was brought back here. But when I was there in this place, I was being shown that this life that I'm living right now is irrelevant, and I'm now a firm believer in something else when we die. I feel like I went there last night. I was took there, and it is nice. It's, I can't describe how I was. I had no worries. I had no all that fear had gone. I felt light as a feather. Even that light as a feather, like I actually learnt to fly. I learnt to fly last night. Might sound strange and totally fucking weird to you lot, yeah, listening to me right now, but I learnt to fly last night, and I've had all day to think about this, and I can think of a few songs that Tom Petty made, learning to fly, yeah, and free falling, and that's all I can sort of say this experience was, that I learnt to fly last night in free fall. And it was all about letting go of fear, the fear of dying. Yeah, I was being prepared. It's what it seems to me. I was being prepared to cross over, to go to this place, and to realise that there's nothing to be scared of when we leave. And today I've woken up, like I say, and I'm light as a feather. All that weight and that fear, it's just left me, and I'm at peace. I'm at peace with it now. If I die tomorrow, I'm not scared. I don't want to die, obviously. No one wants to die. I've got a lot to live for and a lot to give, but I'm not scared anymore. So this is a big moment for me, and I just want to tell my story, and I want everybody to know, yeah, what's actually going on. Whether you believe me or not, I just encourage you just to go and have a look at the relevant information, and you might actually just be shocked about what you learn, and you might look at the people that you're surrounded by, and the people that are encouraging such consumptions. You know what I mean? Years ago, when it was prohibited, people weren't consuming large amounts, because they couldn't, it was, you had to be undercover and everything else. But now it's readily accessible. People can get it legally on private prescriptions and things like that. It's becoming more of a common event. My case isn't just a one-off. I've had people in this community that I've been around, and I've been promoting this fucking cannabis for 20 years for big companies. And I'm going to mention fucking people. I'm going to call people out in a minute, yeah, because these people, yeah, have just seen me, and they see you as a commodity and a way to make money, yeah. People like Arjan, the Strain Hunter, Greenhouse Seed Company, yeah. I felt like I was part of their family, part of their, I've been doing stuff for them for nearly 2 decades. I used to look after the Strain Hunters Forum. I promoted their stuff heavily, and they used to reward me for my service. But as soon as I had my heart attack, yeah, and I told them, I asked these people, these people must see a lot of users, and I'm asking them, have you seen anyone with my condition? Because I'm scared. I wanted information of what was going on with me, and I'm asking, have you seen anyone with this? Could you point me in their direction? How are they doing now? Did they recover? And do you know what I mean? That sort of thing. You'd expect to ask your friends and people that are, and these people have blanked me. They've snubbed me, and I'm gonna piss a lot of people off in this community that are all about making money from you smoking cannabis and making yourself ill and possibly dying and losing your life. Yeah, and it's not just you should be caring about, it's the people. You know, I've got a wife, I've got fucking children and a grandson. You know what I mean? Like, none of these people want to see me die. None of them people want to see you die. I don't want to see you die. I don't want to see anyone die. I don't want to see anyone go through what I just went through. But it's happened. It's where I'm at. It's my fucking life at the minute. It's, you know, every day's a little bit hard or easier than it was the day before. You know, I had an experience last night which was made me feel a hell of a lot better today. But you know, when people are saying, you know, I'll go into the community and I'll tell people I just had a cannabis-induced heart attack. Do you know what the first thing a lot of people are saying to me is like, well, maybe it was shit that was sprayed on your weed. Yeah, and stupid fucking comments like that. You know what I mean? I grew my own shit. I didn't spray nothing on my weed. I'm growing it in organic, living soil. Yeah, the best fucking quality cannabis you can get, better than what you get from a fucking dispensary, and it still fucking give me a heart attack. Yeah, and here's the fucking proof. You know what I mean? Sorry, might have been upside down. Oh, ain't upside down. I'm just going to cover up some information there, but if you want to have a look here, that is a confirmed STEMI heart attack. I'm not just making it up. I don't want sympathy. I don't want your sympathy. Yeah, and I appreciate all the people that sent me kind messages, you know, because these are you people that sent me kind messages, you know, and asked me how I am and generally checked in on me. Yeah, I appreciate you all. Yeah, and to the people that haven't, you can all go fuck yourselves. Straight up, you can all go fuck yourselves. Yeah, because you've just shown your true colours, in my opinion. Yeah, you've just shown yourselves out, you know, and yeah, like I said, some people are only interested in you because you've got something to offer them, and like I said, now I can't offer them anything because I'm not going to promote cannabis anymore. You know, I didn't say I wanted to be anti-cannabis. You know, I'm not anti really, but I suppose I am. You know, because I know the inherited risk, and no one's getting proper informed consent. And this is what I'm doing now. I'm informing you of what can happen, and now it's, you know, I feel obligated and obliged to tell people, because I might have encouraged people to take up cannabis over the 20 years I've been promoting this shit. Yeah, and that's all got to fucking change, and I take it all back. Yeah, and it's just a shame it took me to have a heart attack to realise that, and I just don't want anybody to have a heart attack, seriously, because it's like I said, I'm very lucky. The type of heart attack I had, they call it a widowmaker. You know, it's a fucking serious thing, and I'm left with all these fucking complications that I'm still fucking dealing with right now. But I encourage everybody just to Google or whatever they want to do. Use whatever AI, whatever, and just compile and research the shit you're doing to yourself. And in my opinion, the best thing you can do for your health right now is to stop smoking cannabis, because your heart doesn't like it. I know for a fact. Yeah, the evidence is out there. British Heart Association, European Medical fucking Cardiac Association, Harvard, American Heart Association, all these you know, well-respected, science-based, evidence-based, peer-reviewed studies all confirming that cannabis is negative, is bad for your heart. Full stop. There's no ifs or buts anymore. There's no probably, there's no maybe. Yeah, it's confirmed. I can tell, you know, I'm speaking from fucking experience now. I'm not just reading some bullshit. Yeah, it's not just some fucking fancy Instagram post saying, oh, fucking cannabis helps fucking this and that, yeah? This is fucking, go and ask your fucking doctor, yeah? Straight up, yeah? These people know, yeah? I can't find one doctor that will say cannabis is harmless. Just a plant, just a plant is a myth. It's a fucking myth, and it's a big fucking lie, yeah? And this is how the industry works. This is how Big Pharma works, yeah? They tell you a half-truth, but essentially they're not telling you the whole truth, which means everything they're telling you is a lie, yeah? And when cannabis fucking industry tells people this is a safer alternative, I can beg to differ. I will. I can prove, yeah, that this is not no safe alternative. I'm going to cut this short soon because it's getting late and I'm aware of what lack of sleep is can do to me, and I don't want to risk setting myself off having another heart attack or a spasm or anything like that. So I'm a little bit apprehensive. That's why I might be a little bit more animated. I'm less animated right now because I can't be. I'm having to be really careful about what I'm doing at the moment. You know, I don't want to. I don't want to die. I'm not scared of dying, but I don't want to die. And like I said, this is my story. It's not going anywhere. I'm gonna keep fucking shouting it from the rooftops as long as I've got left. Because you all need to know, whether you fucking believe me or not. It's irrelevant. I'm just letting you all know. Yeah, the facts are out there. Go look for yourself. Question everything. Trust nothing. Do your own research. With that said, I love you all. Whether you give me a like or not, I don't really care. You're not going to see too much of me later in the community. Like I said, all my fan base is pretty much cannabis related, and I'm off it. I'm done with it. You know, the only reason I'm hanging about is because I care. That I actually care for everyone, regardless of whether I hate them or not. Yeah, it's just like it's just in my nature. I'm a caring person. Down at heart, I might come across as a bit of a, bit of an aggressive whatever. Stand up for myself. Don't take no shit. Yeah, but I do fucking care for you all, and I really want you to take on board what I've just said, because it's fucking serious when it comes to your life. Peace and puff, piss and puff, everyone. You know what I mean? And like I said, got a pain in your chest when smoking? Stop. That's the first warning sign. Yeah. Don't do it anymore. If you carry on, you'll probably have a heart attack like I did. And yeah. I'll see you next time. Maybe.